So we ran out here yesterday. We heard a big commotion out here. I come running outside looking to see what's the matter. And there's these two giant piles of feathers. Now I've never seen, I've had chickens now for over 2 years. I've never seen piles of feathers like this. Big piles of feathers, big clumps. And so it's obvious that the chickens were in some kind of a scuffle. And then even underneath this tree where they like to hide out, there were all these feathers. And of our 8 chickens, we could only find 6, and we searched and searched and searched for them, and 2 were missing. And so I said, okay, we have 1 pile of feathers here, 1 pile of feathers here. Something took these chickens away. Something carried them away, and they're gone now. I don't know if it was a fox, I don't know if it was an eagle. And then we found this. Way over on the far side of my pasture, we see this. This big clump of feathers right up against the fence. You've got some even on the other side. So if you see this evidence, the 2 big piles of feathers, 2 missing chickens, and then later in the day we find this, what would you be left to believe? For me, it's pretty simple. Hey, a fox grabbed these chickens. They lost some feathers during a tussle, and then the chickens were grabbed through the fence. And that's it. That's what happened, right? Well, they showed back up at 5:30 in the morning. It still may have been an attack on my chickens, where 2 of our chickens were missing and there were feathers found everywhere in the front pasture. Well, my dad went out this morning at 5:30 this morning, and he was taking the dogs out to the bathroom. And one of the dogs started barking really loudly. And we're wondering, hey, what's going on? Why are the dogs barking so loudly? And it turns out that the dog saw the missing chickens. They were on top of the chicken coop. So in some kind of Christmas miracle, our chickens, which were, I guess, attacked by something, chased off by something, returned in the middle of the night, and they're fine. They seem to be fine to me. Now, here in Central Florida, last year, our Christmas during the day was 76 degrees. It was very warm. This year, it looks like that's not gonna be the case. Now, most of you guys watching this, you probably live somewhere that's far colder than where we live. But here in Central Florida and here on my homestead, we have a lot of tropical plants that don't do good when the weather goes below freezing. And we have 3 freeze nights in a row coming up. 27 degrees, 27 degrees, and 30 degrees. That's considered a big event for where we live. So a lot of the tropicals that we have here on the property, our mangoes, maybe our bananas, they're gonna need some help and some reinforcement, our lemons and our limes especially. They're gonna need some help or else they're not gonna survive this freeze, but we're not gonna let that happen. Let's get into it. Now, there's a lot of different strategies you can read about how people decide to protect their trees from frost. And what I've decided to do is I'm gonna combine a number of techniques together to really try to ensure that especially my mangoes make it through these freezes okay. So one of the first things that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these incandescent bulbs. LEDs will not work because they don't give off excess energy in the form of heat the way that these older incandescent bulbs do. So I have these, they're actually Halloween lights, but they'll fit the bill, they'll suit the job. We're gonna put up these Halloween lights on our mango trees. I've already tested it inside. They get quite warm when they're in use. And to get those out there, we're about 200 feet from the house where those mangoes are. We're just gonna jump extension to extension, and I'm hoping that there's no real power loss and we can get those lights on without a problem. So part of our preparations that we need to do for this freeze, this cold weather, I need to clean out this run, get all the old dirty hay out and make sure it's really stocked up nice with fresh, clean hay so that they have little spots to nuzzle up into to stay warm during the cold. Let's get that done. Now all this hay that we use for the chickens' bedding gets pretty gross after a while. It gets full of their poop and their dead feathers and stuff like that. But that's actually really good. It makes for great compost because the chicken droppings are high in NPK, which is what plants need to grow. So we'll throw this right on the compost pile. And what I'll end up doing is I'll end up putting like a thick layer of cow manure over the top of it to kind of keep it from blowing around all over the place. And by spring, this will be composted into really good stuff for our garden. Scarlett being a team player here and cleaning up after Sarah. Very, very kind of her. As far as these guys are concerned, you guys, there's not a whole lot that we can do as far as the cold is concerned. Now, it looks like the coldest that it's going to get during this whole freeze, hi Elsie, it looks like the coldest that it's going to get during this freeze is about 25 degrees. And that starts to get a little bit cold for cows, but it's still nowhere near a dangerous zone. These cows shouldn't really be in any kind of danger from the cold, down to about even like 15 degrees. So they should be just fine, but we still want to make sure that they're okay. Now they have this woods over here that they can go to get out of the wind, because we don't want any added wind chill on top of the already cold weather. They'll be able to go in there and get a break from the wind. And also what's recommended for cows to get out of the cold, believe it or not, is to make sure that they just have plenty of access to food so that they're at their full strength. So we went ahead and dropped an extra hay bale here. As you can see, they've already been working on it quite a bit today. And hopefully they're feeling well, getting their strength up for this cold weather that we have coming tonight. So everyone, that about wraps this one up. Big freeze coming up. I hope especially my mango trees and my lemons and my limes do okay. We're gonna be covering them all up. We're gonna be turning on those incandescent lights. We've got the chicken coop all cozy for the chickens so that they can stay warm. And we'll be keeping an eye on the cows as well. Hopefully I've got a report for you in a couple days that not too much damage from these freezes, guys. Everybody, God bless you, and thank you guys so much. For those of you who are regularly watching these videos, leaving comments, likes, and stuff like that, that really means a lot to me. Hopefully you can watch our adventure all through the next year. I'll say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, do you have your decorations up?
She said Merry Christmas, and do you have your decorations up? Guys, we'll see you very soon. Hopefully the farm is okay from this freeze. Until next time, everybody, take care, you guys. Bye-bye.